So, is AI the silver bullet for modern medicine, or is it a dangerous new variable we can't control? It's a huge question, and it's got doctors and developers pretty divided. So in this explainer, we're going to cut right through the noise to see how AI is actually changing the exam room, for better and maybe for worse.
To really get why AI is such a big deal, you first have to feel the incredible pressure that's pushing medicine to a breaking point. We're not talking about some slow, gentle change here. We're talking about a system that is so strained that a lot of physicians feel like it's about to snap. And that kind of pressure, well, it creates a vacuum for something radical to come in.
Just try to put yourself in a physician's shoes today. You're being pulled in a dozen different directions all at once. The paperwork is absolutely crushing, patient demands are higher than ever, and the threat of burnout is always looming. This isn't just some list of minor complaints. It's the daily reality that has the whole system crying out for some kind of help.
And right into this crisis walks AI. As analyst Dan Ives puts it, we really need to stop thinking about this as just another tech trend. He calls it the fourth industrial revolution, a force that's ready to completely change how medicine is practiced. So the real question is, how do we get from today's strained system to that AI-powered future?
Okay, so that brings us to what's happening right now. It's time to separate the science fiction from what's actually being used in clinics and hospitals today.
First up, a really crucial distinction. We all say artificial intelligence, but the American Medical Association is pushing for a different term, augmented intelligence. It seems like a small change, but the meaning behind it is huge. The goal isn't to replace the doctor with a machine, it's to enhance their skills, to give them a really powerful new assistant.
And that assistant idea is exactly what we're seeing in practice. You could forget the sci-fi movie version of a robot doing surgery all by itself. The real work of AI in medicine today is way more practical. It's things like automating clinic notes, helping draft replies to patient emails, and analyzing medical scans. It's all about solving today's headaches, not creating some far-off robotic future.
So, what do doctors want most from AI? You'd probably think it's some genius tool for diagnosing rare diseases, right? Well, the reality is a lot more grounded. When the AMA asked doctors, the #1 answer, by a massive margin at 56%, was help with administrative work. Before anything else, they just want AI to free them from the mountains of paperwork so they can get back to actually being with their patients.
But all this excitement about getting rid of paperwork doesn't mean it's some simple love affair with AI. Not at all. The feelings doctors have are way more complex, and they show this deep tension between hope for what's coming and some very real worries about what's happening right now.
The optimism is definitely there. You can't deny it. A 2024 AMA survey shows that 68% of physicians see clear advantages to using AI.
But here's the twist. In that same group, 41% say they feel both excited and concerned at the same time. See, this isn't a simple for or against debate. It's a whole community of experts wrestling with both the incredible promise and the potential peril of this new technology.
So what's actually driving that concern? Well, the barriers are very real. You've got the basic fear of, being replaced. There's the huge risk that biased training data could lead to biased care. And then there's the giant, unresolved question, when an AI gets something wrong, who's liable? Is it the doctor who used it, or the company that made it?
And this might be the biggest hurdle of them all, the black box problem. Think about it. An AI might give you a startlingly accurate diagnosis, but if it can't explain its reasoning, the why behind the what, how can a physician ever truly trust it with a patient's life? It's a fundamental clash between this opaque technology and the absolute need for clinical accountability.
And this gets to the most human part of everything. A major review in 2023 found an almost universal doubt that AI-driven care could ever be truly empathetic. It's a really powerful reminder that no matter how smart an algorithm gets, it might never be able to replicate the compassion that's at the very heart of healing.
And these concerns about trust lead directly to some major ethical red flags. If an AI is trained on data from just one group of people, it might not work as well for others, and that could make health disparities even worse. And then you have patient privacy. Using our most sensitive health data to train these models, it brings up critical questions about security and consent that we really haven't fully answered yet.
So with such high stakes and so many valid concerns, how do we actually move forward? This isn't about stopping the revolution. It's about making sure it's a safe one by building some smart, effective guardrails along the way.
Fortunately, this isn't just the Wild West. Groups like the American Medical Association have already built detailed roadmaps. Now, this framework looks complicated, and honestly, it has to be. But it boils down to 4 critical phases. First, you identify a real problem that AI can solve. Second, you evaluate the tool like crazy. Third, you implement it carefully with tons of training and support. And finally, you never stop managing and monitoring it to make sure it's still safe and effective over time.
When you boil all these frameworks down, they all come back to 3 guiding principles. For any AI to be trustworthy in a clinic, it absolutely must be built on a foundation of clear ethics, it must be validated by hard evidence that it works, and it has to be implemented in a way that promotes equity for every single patient.
And this isn't just about the industry policing itself. Government regulators are stepping in. The FDA, for instance, now treats many of these AI systems as what they are, medical devices. That means they're subject to the same kind of strict oversight for safety and effectiveness as a physical tool, making sure they're proven to work before they ever get near a patient.
Which brings us right back to our original question. Is AI a physician's powerful ally? It is clearly more than just hype, and it's already providing real help. But the revolution is far from over. And the ultimate challenge? It isn't a technical one. It's a human one. Can we design these powerful tools not just to mimic intelligence, but to amplify the very empathy that makes a good doctor great?